Hello, everybody. Got to surprise everybody today. I actually forgot to put my intro video on. How is everybody doing? Hello, Lori. Ginger, yeah, I'm feeling better today. Awesome. Glad everybody's here and everybody in the bushes. Welcome in. We're happy to have you. We'll start out with our spotlight on the missing. It's Amaya Rayshawn Burrell. Some of you may remember her name back in May. She went missing and now she's gone missing again. She's been missing now since yesterday. Last seen in Newport News, 16 years old. She does require medication and may be in need of medical attention. So, if anyone knows where Zamaya may be or anything about her disappearance, please call the Newport News, Virginia Police Department or 911. Let's get her home for good this time, right? Let's not forget Jonathan Huang, 21-year-old autistic male, high functioning, does respond to his name. He's been missing since March 30th. His family is really worried about him. His only social circle has ever been his immediate family, and he doesn't know how to take care of himself. They do think that he might have been lured from online. So if anyone knows anything, please call Arlington PG or even his dad at the number on the screen. Let's not forget our little buddy, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He needs to be home with his dad. We don't really know where he is or what happened. For sure, other than I think he was put into a car at 3 a.m. on the corner of Stafford and Kellen. That's about the only evidence that we really do have in his case. We know he didn't walk out of his home. He had to have been carried out. Sebastian needs to come home. And then we have Travis Decker still on the loose. The police are now thinking that he might be deceased, that he might have taken his own life. It's just a matter of finding him. But in the case that he is still alive, please, if you see him, do not approach. Call 911 immediately. He is 5'8", 190 pounds. Black hair, was in a ponytail when he was seen last. Could be shaved, who knows. He had mustache and a beard. That could be shaved as well. So he's wanted for three counts of first-degree red rum and first-degree kidnapping of his three beautiful little girls shown here. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, seen with their mom. All right. Well, tonight we are talking about Jack and Lily. As usual. Hello, Brenda. Good to see you from Alberta. Awesome. All right. So we are talking about Jack and Lily. I wanted to talk about Daniel's inconsistent statements, right? We've said that he has inconsistent statements, but I thought we would actually kind of look at his interviews, see what he said, look at his messages that he's done, and discuss them. Now, I did watch a video last night, so I'm aware of what Derwood, Darren, Mr. Bewitched has said. And parts of it, he's talking about what Daniel's mom heard and saw that morning, and that said that she has told the police I don't know, guys, right? I Part of me wanted to believe what she was saying, what he was saying, what she was saying through him. She's not talking, obviously. Which I think that if what Darren is said is true. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. We're happy to have you here. Um, but if what Darren said is true, then I'd want to believe it. I'd want to believe that the kids were put into a car and taken somewhere, but does it add up? Don't we think that our CMP would have found that car that the kids left in that morning? They asked for all the dash cam footage, guys. There's just it makes me wonder, right? I want to believe that the kids are alive. I would love nothing better than to know that the kids are alive. But I just, I don't know. We can't even legitimately say that Darren is in fact a relative. Are we just going to take his say so? I mean, there's no one to corroborate that other than Malaya. If she would come out and say he is, then I guess I could go with what he's saying, right? But we don't know that. We really don't know that. Someone made a report to the RCMP. Let me see. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and watch it. I am going to share my screen with you guys. This is interesting. So let's see what he has to say. This is Don B. I don't know if anybody. Gotcha. Okay. So before we get started, hello, Gil. He's told that many lies. Darren copied what Sloan Bella predicted the week before, word for word. Oh, see, I had a bad feeling about him. But let's listen to what Don B is saying here.
Guys, what's going on? Just wanted to get on here and give you guys an update in the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. I just got off the phone with the Royal Canadian RCMP, and we discussed a Mr. Derwood O'Grady, and we had a pretty lengthy conversation about it. Gave him some information that was circulating on YouTube. We looked at a few YouTube channels, and he was very interested in what Mr. O'Grady had to say. Obviously, they have not seen it. So, this here to give you an update on that. I thought, well, surely with all this coming out, law enforcement knows about it, right? So I called them at 902-485-4333, which is a number that they want you to call. And guy called me back and said, hey, what's going on about this possible relative of Malaya that, and I told him basically, a dude apparently gave someone an interview and somehow he's related to her. Don't know if it's her uncle or what, but supposedly he's related to her, and he's saying, and he looked at it and he's like, you know, he looked at a few videos and he's like, dude, I've seen all that I need to see. Is this the right number that we can reach you back at if we need you? I said, yep. And that was basically it. And hadn't heard from him. That was about an hour ago. So figured I'd get on here and share that little update with you on the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. There you go. So, yeah, not much of a video, just what's going on 3 minutes here, but be interesting to see what they, I'm sure they're going to reach out. They're going to be wanting to talk to this Derwood O'Grady guy in you know, in response to what he's had to say to YouTubers. So I'm telling you guys, it was news to him. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.
Interesting, guys. So
That's what's going on.
Oops. So RCMP did not even know about Derwood O'Grady when he has said that they're not listening to him. It's going to be really interesting. Okay, let's see. Yes, thanks to Don B. Let's not Osprey, hello. Don B is a true crime creator. He's not yeah, he just basically talks true crime. He's not he's not a, what do I want to say? He's not a hate channel. He doesn't promote hate, nothing like that. Almost maybe kind of like our channel a little bit. Yes, I heard that as well. I don't want to give his name out though. Oh, to be a fly on the wall. I know. You know, we have talked about the last couple nights on this channel about how, you know, it seems to me like he's just trying to get his 10 minutes of fame. There's no way to prove that he is Malaya's cousin, second cousin, from what I said, because his Cindy is his first cousin, Malaya's mom, so be second cousin to Malaya. People are calling him an uncle, but I don't know where they're getting that from because he has said second cousin. No worries, Lori. I just don't want to dox anyone. We may not agree with them, but we don't want to dox them either, you know, at all. Money, rugs, and very bad, disgusting people. This case has just gone. It's starting to go like Sebastian's case, guys. I don't like it at all. I don't like the circus that it's starting to be. It's really irritating to me because it's about finding Jack and Lily, right? We can analyze statements of Malaya and Daniel to try to figure out what happened because they were the last people, right, that saw him. But I mean, kudos to Don B for calling RCMP. I mean, I guess I wouldn't have gotten that involved. So, you know, I mean, he just wanted to check to see, is he on the up and up? Yeah. It's funny. We may be small. We may not have been on the air for very long, but I gotta tell you, I've watched people I think it's the granny's cousin. Gotcha. Um, but I've watched people make mistakes. And one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen happen is these when creators get people reach out to, um, you know, mother or father of a missing child, and then they end up getting close to them. Then they start getting hate because they're defending one or the other or something, and it just becomes a circus. you know if you can be like mainstream media where um you can just ask professional questions and like a one and done, right? Or maybe once in a while, once every few months or something, then that's different. But when they're in your chat all the time and when you're talking to them constantly, and it causes issues. It just causes issues and drama and hate comes out, and lawsuits like in Sebastian Rogers' case. And I got to tell you, this old granny, I live on Social Security, so I can't afford any any lawsuits. And the last thing I would want to do is ever to beg for money. Uh, It's I can't. So um, it's one of the reasons I don't get involved in that kind of stuff. I want to just bring awareness for these missing kids and to try to figure out what happened to them, right? Without getting into all the drama and the hate. And it's not easy sometimes to stay out of it all, but I try. So Darren didn't tell the RCMP his long story to them. Yeah, that is interesting, right? That is interesting. Now, I will say this, okay? Um, it's very possible that the RCMP, the guy that Don talked to, acted like he didn't know about this guy and just wanted to hear what Don had to say, right? I mean, I don't know. So, um, it sounds like he gave him some websites to go to listen to Darren speaking, and we call him Mr. Bewitched here on the channel because he called himself Derwood, and his real name is Darren, and that is the same as the guy on Bewitched, Samantha's husband, and Derwood is the name that his mother-in-law called him, so we call him Mr. Bewitched on here. But I've listened to him hang up on people. I've listened to him get angry when people are questioning him. He can't stay on topic. He doesn't answer a question outright. You know, I just have trouble believing him. I really do. Yeah, it is about the Barons. I know. And, RCMP told us in the beginning that they didn't think they were alive. So, I mean, I don't know, right? It's, I would like to hope that they were. See, I believe that too, Gil. I believe that the RCMP know a lot more than what we do. I believe they are watching this. And so I kind of have a feeling that they were just trying to see if Don had more information. I mean, I don't know. A channel I watched this morning wondered if he was an undercover cop doing a sting. If Darren was? Well, I think that's a little far-fetched. And the reason that I say that is because a cop wouldn't. Why would he reach out to all these YouTube creators? They don't know anything about Jack and Lily, right? So, I mean, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, see, Gil, I think the same thing. I think that they are experts. They know what they're talking about. And I think that they're watching. I really do. Um, I wonder if the RCMP saw Daniel's comments in the live chat. I don't know. I don't know. I think that we are going to get resolution to this pretty quickly. At least I hope so. I hope and pray that's the case. Thank you, Ginger, for pointing out this information about Don. I'm glad he's bold enough to just go and call. They're letting them talk. Yeah. 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 That's what I think. But I think they're trying to, like Don calling in, they just want to know what he knows, right? The Canadian cat lady. Hello, hello. We're getting more and more people from Canada every day. Well, welcome in. Many of us have fur babies here as well. Hello, Neuro. Good to see you. I wonder if it was Daniel who brought Jack and Lily to the car. Said it was Malaya. I don't know. We don't know if that's even true. Right? We don't know if that's even true. Hello, Carrie. Good to see you. Yeah, we really don't know. Because the one who said that the kids were brought to the car was Mr. Bewitched. So we're either not going to believe him at all, or we're going to believe everything he said, because I'm not going to take bits and pieces of it, right? We can't just take pieces of things that this guy has said and run with it. That's just not even, it's not even kosher, guys. I mean, seriously, if we don't believe him, then we don't believe anything he said. And that was one of his statements. So we don't know that Jack and Lily were brought to the car. We don't know that. Exactly, Asprey. I heard him last night. Yeah. And that's what I was saying at the beginning, is that he gets angry when they ask a question. I'm not going to go there. He doesn't answer a question that's asked. He talks in circles. He doesn't finish a thought. It just, yeah. Apparently, Cody, the biodad, has a lengthy criminal record, but he hasn't seen the kids for, 3 years, they said? And Carrie thinks she had a boyfriend and was planning on running off with him. That's kind of been her MO, hasn't it? Yeah. There is a different Cody Sullivan who is on house arrest, who has been in a lot of trouble, and it's not the same guy. So be careful what you're putting out there, because people were looking up one and he's not the same person. Cody and Sullivan are two very common, popular names, guys. So yeah, he does. He's making the rounds. He's getting his 10 minutes of fame, guys, and he can continue to do that if he wants to, but I think at some point here he's going to be shut down. Somebody is going to realize that he's not who he thinks he is. Um, yep, he hung up on one of the creators. I heard him. I saw it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cody Sullivan, the bio dad, from everything I've heard, does not have a criminal record. See, guys, you've all watched so many things and you're hearing no worries, no worries. That's why we're here. We want to get to the truth of things, right? Um, I want you guys to feel free to, express your thoughts, your opinions. Please put, in my opinion, IMO in your comments if you're giving a thought or an opinion. Um, but also remember that we don't mention creators in here, okay? And unless I bring it up, like if I'm going to play something, and we don't show any hate or disrespect to anyone ever, including to me. But yes, you don't have to apologize for making a mistake, because any of us can. I mean, we're all, yeah. We like to hear what's going on. We just, if if we can debunk something, that's incredible. Who is Sloan Bella? Is that some kind of psychic? And please, Gil, don't use creators' names. Yeah. We don't swear here. Or use the Lord's name in vain. We don't like to do that. So, um, yes, I do love humor and mild sarcasm. I do. The RCMP latest statement, when was it given out? It's okay, Gil. It's all right. It's all right. I do want to ask you, since you did bring it up a couple of times, who is this Sloan Bella? Is that a creator? I've never heard of it. So since you have brought it up, I want to know who that is. I know the other person that you mentioned, but I do want to know who, because you mentioned that. The reason I'm asking is because you mentioned that Darren has repeated everything that that person said 2 days ago. I don't know, but let's look. I'm looking, so. And Ginger, if you know where it is, please let me know. I'm looking at their Facebook page right now and I'm not showing anything so far. They sure have been busy. Yeah, nothing on their Facebook page, so I don't know. Oh, she's a psychic. Okay. All right. All right. That's another thing that I just don't really, it each to their own, but I don't show psychics on our channel. Lori says, I think the police are sitting, watching, and waiting to let things roll out, but they more than us, and I'm in no hurry to hear anything unless it comes from the police. Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice, Osprey? Wish someone would just step forward and tell the truth. Oh, that would make things so easy. So, can I ask what you think about what RCMP said about complex when many people involved? I may have to go there and just watch it to see if it's exactly the same, like you guys are saying. It's really spooky. Oh my gosh. Okay. Complex case with many messy family members. Yeah, and then you throw um you know the native community into it. It's a um whole nother concept to the case, right? Whole nother level. Well, we don't want them saying too much. I mean, guys, listen, if I'm it's pretty obvious that this case that there's I really believe, my opinion, guys, my opinion. Don't take for fact. This is my opinion, but it's pretty obvious to me that this case is going to end up in criminal court. That's what I think. And I don't want police talking and saying too much to, hurt the case, right? Because we want a conviction. If somebody is responsible for taking, harming, hurting anything, Jack and Lily, then they need to be held responsible in a court of law, right? I think we're all on the same page about that, because whoever hurts precious little children should be held accountable, right? So we don't want them to say, I got to tell you, and maybe you guys aren't aware of Sebastian Rogers' case, but it's a case in the States. 15-year-old autistic male vanished, went poof from his home. Didn't walk out the door. There's no scent trail. No scent trail of him leaving the house at all. Dogs did not find one at all. However, there were flashlights and a 3 a.m. car outside their home, 3 a.m. Going from the house to the car and then back to the house again, flashlights. So we have only heard from the law enforcement agency in that case 4 times, I think, in a year. Been a year and 4 months. 4 times. We've heard more than that in the 7 weeks from RCMP. We've heard more than 4 times in the 7 weeks that Jack and Lily have gone missing. So don't be too quick to jump on RCMP. They are, they're on it. But we don't want them to tell us anything that so let's see. I wish someone would step forward, tell the truth. If the kids are gone, then they have gone to a better place. If not, I cannot imagine what they're going through. I know. Mr. Witch has stirred up some anger in our First Nations people. Many are not happy with them. Yeah. I think there's definitely going to be a few that are arrested. And unfortunately, I think this Darren might be one of them. Can you say obstruction of justice? I'm just saying. He is, if he if he is spreading false information, he can go to jail for obstruction of justice, guys. And we all know that a lot of people can be guilty of spreading false information, but this guy is purposely making the rounds to do it. He is going from creator to creator to creator to creator to tell his story. And he's hanging up on some when they're not all pro Daniel. I'm just saying, if they're, if they're pro Daniel, he doesn't like them and he hangs up on them. So Yeah, I don't know. I think that he could be sticking his neck out a little bit too far and getting himself into trouble. I don't know. He says that he is getting threats, right? According to what he said last night. And he's homeless now. So, you know what my first thought was? Oh, he wants money. He wants people raising money for him if he's homeless. Craddock is bad enough. I hear you, Neuro, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, they blatantly lied. I know that the police know what's going on. And honestly, if they didn't, well, then after Don B called them, they do now. I'm just saying, but I think they knew already. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're not going to want to show their hand at all. You know, people think that, but here's a clue. So I don't know if any of you guys know about cult mom Lori Vallow Daybell. That was all over the place, right? Everywhere. Um, I mean, they were hunting for her, and there was, worldwide uh, alerts out for her and her kids, right? Before they knew what happened with the kids. Um, she got a fair trial. She got 4 fair trials. There were people that actually did not know about Lori Vallow. And the reason that I know that is because those jurors actually spoke after the trial was over and said, I didn't know about her. So, yes, sometimes the things are all over the internet, but guys, believe it or not, in 2025, there are people. I find it amazing. I mean, I'm 66 years old. I'm on the internet all day long. But so I do find it amazing that some people just don't plug in. They just don't, right? Honestly, what I think the RCMP is doing, they're dotting their I's, they're crossing their T's, they're putting together their investigation, and they are looking for those kids. When they get those kids, then you can be sure heads are going to roll. But they don't want to take anybody in custody. They want to keep people talking, right? Like Daniel. We haven't even gotten to his interviews yet, but we will in a second here. But like Daniel, right? And yeah, guys, I mean, they want people talking. Once they get those kids in hand, then you're going to see heads roll. Yeah, that's right. It's not just misinformation. He is also going against the RCMP because he's saying they're not doing a dumb thing about it. Blah 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 blah. Right? Yep. And he only started talking when a reward came out. Here, what statement sent big red flags up to me. Mr. Bewitched acts like he's so concerned about Jack and Lily. But his own statement, he said, I didn't even know these kids were related to us. But 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 all of a sudden now oh, he's talked to Cindy, he's talked to Daniel, he's talked to, oh, right, Daniel's mom, and oh, he knows more than everybody else does. But he didn't even know those kids were related to him. That was his statement, not mine, not anybody else's. So how can you go from not even knowing those kids are related to you to all of a sudden knowing everything that happened to them? If you didn't even know those kids were related, you didn't even know Malaya. So how do you know everything that happened to them if what you're alleging? Do you see where I'm going at, guys? Exactly. Exactly. And that's the key, right? They don't, and Gil, I don't know if you've ever listened to Deception Detective, but that is one of the traits of an innocent parent is they say their child's name. They say their child's name. Malaya didn't even say the child's name in her first and only interview. And then even in the text, she didn't say her kids' names. The text that with Belinda that Belinda gave to another creator, right? He's good at telling a story without stopping to think about what's next. In my opinion, he's talking too much, whether he is telling the truth. Exactly. Exactly. Greed. Honestly, guys, I bet that's the next thing. He's homeless. He wants money. Go and check for Derwood. O'Grady. Hello, Walla. Good to see you. Yeah, very fishy. Very fishy. Yeah. Yeah. How does he know they're safe? How does he know they're safe? If he knows that they're safe, why doesn't he go get them and bring them to RCMP? Or better yet, why doesn't he tell RCMP the address of where they're at if he knows they're safe? Because unless he knows where they're at, he doesn't know that they're safe. He's reading a script. Gotcha. I agree. White table is something else. People like her exist. I know. You're from Scotland. Gotcha. Derwood's doing his rounds and Daniel's doing his rounds. And I think Derwood and Daniel are in on it together. That's what I think. False hope. Yeah, money. Um, not got a penny, rents a room. You said so much on other channels, Canadian just come here. Facts only helps reduce confusion over chit chat and lies. So you do know Mr. Yummy. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't believe anything he said, so we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead. I wanted to listen there. I started putting together a video of all of Daniel's videos, and when I was going through looking for him, somebody had already done that. And I thought, well, work smarter, not harder. So we're going to show that interview. But it was all but the last one, I believe. So we're going to show that one because we're just going to look at how they're in chronological order, at how Daniel's words and his narrative have changed over time. Okay. So let's go ahead. And all credit to Hunter S. Trueheim.
Very stressful. I mean, ever since the Friday morning when we noticed that the children were gone, immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there. And as soon as I noticed them weren't there, I immediately jumped right in the vehicle and surveyed all the area, every dirt road, every culvert that I could find. As soon as I seen they were missing, I jumped right in the vehicle and I did every dirt road and searched every culvert. The very first day I wasn't around very much because I was just searching. I was running through the woods, screaming their name till my throat hurt. Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister. They took their boots. That's pink boots for Lily, blue boots for Jack, with dinosaurs on them. Lily had her backpack with white, and it was white, with strawberries on it. I imagine now if they're in the woods that it'd be probably brown, but I don't see them carrying their backpack. I don't see them keeping a pull-up on for that long after it got soaked from the very first day. We only found the 2 boot tracks outside of the house.
Whereabouts?
Right beside the house, probably 10 feet away from the backyard.
In the backyard, okay.
Nothing new, other than the helicopters are still in the air, and they had dogs. They took around the dogs today, and as of last night, they had 8 more drones going on with infrared. I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. We were searching. We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day, we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can, just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until a man dressed in a military outfit said I could go back into the woods. I hate being wet and cold, so they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only 2 prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it. Just waiting for him to come home. Hardly any evidence at all since the first day. It's mind-boggling that nothing else was found. The last of RCMP in the area that I've seen, they were at Lansdowne Lake, and they told me that they scoured the lake, divers, and sonared the lake, and there's no evidence at all. If they were in this area, would have found them. My family's still searching.
You said they're flying in someone to do a polygraph test. Is that on you?
That's not just on me, but on everyone. That's what I asked for. I asked for that so early on, and there's not many places that do it in Canada, so they're flying somebody in.
Why do you think you need to do that? Do you think they don't believe you?
I think their side of the family doesn't believe me, and I just want to clear it up for everyone. Clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making crazy accusations and everything else. No idea. I had no idea. I'm still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the search is just so far out. Still holding out hope. I don't know why they didn't find anything from Jack's pull-up to her backpack or any of her belongings at all. They just haven't found anything. I've done everything. I've given them all my information. I'm here to find the kids. Well, I know they can't go forever. I mean, there's search and rescue workers searchers that have already been injured. They've spent so much resources. I mean, resources doesn't matter at this point, but I mean, everybody's tired. There's some people that I don't think they even went home. I'm absolutely exhausted at this point after going through 6 days of virtual hell. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm just fighting for Lily and Jack. Breaks my heart. Pure exhaustion at this point. I mean, sadness just turns to anger because there's no answers. And I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get answers. Bring cadaver dogs. They search for anything they can find. I want as much as they can do.
So there we go. Do you guys see any inconsistencies? Good point, Ginger. If they were put in a car, why is Daniel searching the woods? Yeah, exactly. And false tears, crocodile tears. Exactly, Ginger. Did you catch that too? He said it was by the backyard. I thought so. But Darren said, no, that was where she filled in the boot print. No, or she filled in the potholes, and that's where the boot print was, but it wasn't. Maybe, that's a good point, Osprey. Maybe Daniel is Darren and he is using AI. So let's see. I'm just reading your guys' things. He's cracked it. Yeah. He's cracked all right. You know what I was looking for in all of these first interviews was anything about them getting out of bed. And Daniel never brought that up until the last interview that I can find. Yes, Neuro's right. We try to stick with the facts. We really do. We really do. You thought the recent pic of him in Meadow was AI? Yeah, the police said the pipeline, but there was two on the dispatch. I will say that there was two, one by the backyard and one on the pipeline. Well, Brenda, I'll share a little rumor with you. Again, don't take it for fact. This is complete rumor, but I think it's funny, so that's why I'm going to share it. I read somewhere that, well, Darren actually said that he had to take Daniel for pizza because Daniel was starving because there was no money without Malaya's money there. And there was no food in the house. So, he didn't have any money. He was starving. So Darren felt bad for him and took him out for pizza. The homeless guy took Daniel out for pizza, right? Yeah. Okay. So, yes. I mean, the children could have went for a quad ride on that pipeline trail. Had to step off to go to the bathroom. I mean, so but obviously, and if you've watched any of our other ones where we've done statement analysis on Daniel, you know that his statements aren't consistent. They aren't consistent with Malaya's statements either, because Malaya stated that she was in bed and she was dozing on and off, and they could hear Lily and Jack in the next room. And then they woke up and they couldn't hear him. And she said to her partner, Daniel, do you hear the kids? And he said, no. Right. But then she said they were playing outside, although we didn't know they were playing outside. Well, then how did you know they were playing outside? I mean, all of it didn't make sense. So in my very humble opinion, there are red flags on both sides, and our CMP has their work cut out. The bad thing is that Malaya lawyered up almost immediately, and she has not been speaking. Right? So, I mean, and Daniel keeps speaking when it probably would be in his best interest to shut up because he's making it worse and worse. But that's all right, Daniel. Keep speaking. We don't care. No, I don't know. I don't remember who said it earlier, but I wish somebody, Osprey, I think. I wish somebody would tell the truth already. Right? Derwood might get. Hello, Ariel. Good to see you. Welcome in. Derwood might get charged with mischief. Yeah, he might. Obstruction of justice is worse, I think, if that's a thing in Canada. It's not long enough if it impedes the investigation, though, honestly, because if what he's doing impedes this investigation, you know what really bothers me, though, guys? Liars do slip up eventually. Yes, they do. But what really bothers me is the hundreds and hundreds of people who are gullible and listening and believing what he's saying. In my opinion, you know, if you're a person that tends gullible, then you need to be on channels that will only deal with facts, right? Because otherwise you're going to be led astray. And that bothers me. I don't like to see anyone being led astray by lies, gullibility, deceit. Licking his lips as well. Yes. Yes. I had a good chuckle when, yeah, DB said he shared all the YouTube videos with the RCMP. Yeah. Yeah, I think some creators are going to be getting calls tonight. What are you talking about, Brenda? Uh, that's very true, Neural. Very true. It's weird. All the women who have been through some form of DV can see right through. Yeah. People are so desperate to be told anything, they believe it and crave more. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Or they're so desperate to grow, be popular. I mean, yeah, I agree. To me, it is heartbreaking when missing children get lost in the YouTube drama. Yeah. Brenda, I'm not Granny's watching. And I did ask that we do not bring up other creators' names in here. So I've never spoken about cancer, never had it, never talked about it. So I'm not Granny's watching. Right, everybody? Everybody knows me better than that. Yeah. They're encouraging these people to come on and make allegations. Yes, they are. Yep, there's an early video or a pic of the brother on the shiny quad. Yeah. Course of control and DV in Canada. Interesting. The kids get forgotten. Yes, they do. The kids get forgotten. I will say this for Daniel. Pick out something, when we were going through those first videos. He did say their names several times, where Malaya didn't at all. Thank you, Ginger. Is DV high in parts of Canada with social economic issues? I think the YouTubers need to shut him down. It's getting too sensational. I agree, but they won't because it is clicks and views, guys. Clicks and views. And you know that I don't go by that here. I'd rather build slowly and get quality people in here than have all the drama. All the drama. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I get so tired of being confused with a person who's not even a real grandma and has a totally different set of values than I have. Yes, it is neural. Single moms have become targets because of the benefits they receive for their children. I could see that. I could see that. Right. So I wanted to look at a couple of we'll take that off of there first. A couple of Daniel's statements. Lily and Jack called me dad and came for me for everything. Never Malaya. She had no control over the kids. They were wild with her and with me listened and were well behaved. I promised myself I'd always be there for Malaya and the kids, and I'm holding that promise. I only wish I could tell you fine details surrounding Malaya and her family and the disappearance. I'll let you know that Malaya was set to stay with me and the baby, to leave with my cousin. I love her more than anything. That will never change. I'm waiting for that chance to relive our first date over waterfalls and a walk on the Big Island beach with the Daniel you first met. She will know what that means. Okay, so do you see this one, guys? Now I'm going to show you something else. I love her more than anything, right? Look at this one right here. I want Meadow, not Malaya. So which is it? Which is it? He wants Meadow, not Malaya. I love her more than anything. I'm waiting for that chance to relive our first date over waterfalls and a walk on Big Island Beach with the Daniel you first met. I want Malaya. Meadow, not Malaya. So okay, let me see here. All right. Of course, Canadian cat lady. um, I will answer if I can, if I know the answer. If I don't, I'll just tell you I don't know. It's so bad, gender, and is vulnerable too. They need educating. Yes, they do. I hear you, Gil. There's been a lot of us here that have been through it, myself included. Yes. Canadian lady, I'm not going to show it on here because I would just say if you have Facebook, look up Dan Martell, and it is his profile picture now, him and Meadow. Because Meadow isn't missing. Okay, I don't like to show. It's actually, I think, you're not supposed to show children under the age of 18 anyway, unless there's a reason for it, like they're missing. So I won't show it here, but I think she looks just like Daniel. Poor little girl. I hope as she grows up, she looks more like her mom. Yes, it is. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I showed there. Just another one of his you know, misinformation, lies, outright lie, right? He wants Meadow, not Malaya. But, you know, on the other hand, he loves Malaya and wants her back. You know, he said kids are alive, polygraph exam questions were all on death, everyone passed. That's another lie because he said in his interview that he didn't know the answer to if Malaya passed hers or not. She has Meadow and is on the run. We don't know that that ever happened, guys. Darren is also saying that CPS took Meadow. We don't know that. We don't know that. I've not heard from RCMP or Malaya or anybody that Meadow was taken. Malaya knows everything. Yes, she's terrified. Investigators are close. She couldn't stay around me because she would crack. I would find out. I think he already knows what happened. No rugs. Dogs went through house and property. RCMP said rug test not a concern. I asked. So we keep catching him in outright lies. I agree with you, Lori. I think he is a narcissist. Well, Ginger, how does that work though? If they're separated, does he still get money for Meadow and then Malaya gets money for Meadow? How does that work? Does it say anywhere that he wants her in jail? Not that I'm aware of. Daniel's happy he's seen his own daughter and that's all that matters to him. Could be. Remember, Jack and Lily are not his kids. Doesn't mean he doesn't know what happened to him, though. Right? Doesn't mean he doesn't know what happened. Oh. He wants Malaya in federal prison. So he wants full custody of Meadow. Interesting. Yeah. You really think that they're going to let Meadow go back? Wait a minute. We're forgetting the CPS report. So even if Malaya went to prison for whatever reason, I mean, we don't know what happened, right? Even if she went to prison, there was a CPS report, and I doubt that it had nothing to do with Daniel. Because the school is the one who initiated and called CPS. So we don't know what's in that CPS report. Meadow could be given to someone else entirely if Gil, you're funny. He keeps getting caught telling porcupines. They only get money if the said child is living with them. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right. He actually said it, the death of Jack and Lily. Not only that, in those videos, did you catch where he was talking about them in the past tense? Lily loved, Jack loved, with a D on the end. Loved. I agree with you, Lori. I agree with you 100%. But, somebody said, I think it was Kent. He hasn't been in here now since he's been on panel. Not here. But Kent had said that somebody had flown over it with a drone recently and it's more cleaned up. Yeah, I don't think he'll get Meadow either. Guys, there is a reason. So there's a reason that they didn't let him see his other two children or Meadow in the beginning. They said no. There was a reason for that. And I'll betcha anything that the visit that he had was supervised. Just saying. Thank you, Neuro. I like to think we're learning, right? I mean, we all should be, right? Yes, even Belinda said the house was really rough on the inside. I mean, we heard directly from her in her interview. She said the house was, and she said it surprised her because Malaya doesn't normally live like that. Right? So, yeah, I mean, that's because he thinks he will get Meadow or was wanting Malaya to hand Meadow over to Logan. Yes, exactly. Exactly. He was wanting Malaya to hand Meadow over to Logan. Oh my gosh, guys. What were they going to do with Meadow? Because then his mom kicked everyone off the property. Malaya's family off the property. Wow. It's interesting. Fly on the wall. I'd love to be. Her kids are supposedly missing and she's worried about him buying crap on Temu. Unbelievable priorities, Malaya. Well, wait a minute. If you saw the whole text the way that it was, let's read it. I'm gonna pull it up. Okay. So, do you believe in your heart that Daniel could have hurt them? I don't know, but he's been acting suspicious and is too worried about what people think about him and not focusing on my kids at all. Everything he's doing is odd, and the police advised him to stay away from the media, to stop contacting me, And he's also tried to steal money from my account through Chimo because my card was attached to his account. So everything is not right. My main focus right now is to protect Meadow and find my kids. So I'm going to give Malaya the benefit of the doubt here. She was answering the question that Belinda asked her. And she was just stating all the things that she's seen Daniel do since the disappearance of the kids. You know, he's acting suspicious. He's too worried about what people think about him versus. So I think what she's saying is he's going on social media and on mainstream media, but he's more concerned with talking about himself and how he looks, you know, to everybody and how he's coming across than he is about the kids. And everything he's doing is odd. The police advised him to stay away from the media, to stop contacting me. She's just listing things. And people are picking out this one thing and saying that. She's more worried about the Chimo thing. Well, if you left a man and you didn't realize that your card was still attached to a certain account and he was using that account, which was charging your card, wouldn't that tick you off too? That doesn't mean she's more concerned with that than she is with protecting Meadow. It's my opinion, guys. Okay, so let me see. Yes, the baby does look a lot like him. Yep. Financial abuse and considered fraud. It shows violation. Yes, it does. Could be reasons for that though. He's 4. If they were autistic, which they hadn't been fully diagnosed yet, that there could be a reason. But yes, my kids were both trained by the time they were 4, but I don't think we should make a judgment on that until we know, you know, was there something wrong there? You know, Daniel using your credit card and getting free pizza from Bewitched. It seems Daniel is in financial hardship. Yep, sure does, doesn't it? Getting free pizza. What about his mommy? Does his mommy cook for him? I'm just saying. Well, you know, what about her? Does she get any money? She retirement, something? Can she cook for him? You know, I mean, I'm just saying. And what's he buying on Temu? More necklaces? I had a suspicion Daniel's family were desperately trying too hard to get to Meadow that morning. Maybe that's why they were arguing. That could be. Do we? Gil, did Daniel say that he hit them? Because Malaya hasn't said it. So who did we hear that from? We don't know that. You know, we have to go by facts. We don't know that. We know that Daniel liked corporal punishment, or, well, do we? Do we know that, Ginger? Darren said it. So I don't know. You know, like I said, we either take everything Darren said or we take nothing because we can't pick and choose. I don't think that's true. I really don't think that's true because they can't be used in a court of law. In a civil case, they can be, but I don't think social services would take a lie detector test into consideration regarding children. What are you laughing at, Walla? I'm not saying she doesn't know where they are. I think she would. But I think you have to take the whole thing into context, Gil. That's what I'm saying. I'd be mad, and that does show financial abuse. If it were me, I'd be mad. And that would have nothing to do with the fact that my children are missing. I'd be mad that he's using my money, right? Yeah, there could be some trauma that causes developmental delays. Was he buying Pokemon cards on Temu? He could have been. Bewitched told us Daniel uses corporal punishment, so we're not going to believe it. At least I'm not going to. You guys can if you want to, but I'm not going to take that as a fact. We don't know that yet. However, I will say this. There was a reason there's a CPS report. And just like in the Sebastian Rogers case, in the Sebastian Rogers case, the stepfather actually admitted to using a belt on Sebastian. Daniel hasn't admitted anything like that. I will try to watch it. I don't like to open the door to that kind of stuff, honestly. So I'm not going to make any promises. Let's just put it that way. But I am curious. Maybe I can read the transcript if there's a transcript. I'd rather do that. You got to know both to know the subtle differences, sensory triggers. Are they from trauma, men shouting, autism, any loud noises? Yes. Kids are all different when it comes to toilet training. Yeah. Yeah. And again, stress, is a big factor for bedwetting, that kind of thing. I'm just saying. That's why he's starving. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like too. There's so much nonsense. There is, Gil, and that's why I try to stick to the facts here. We can talk about rumors, we can talk about what we've heard, but if we don't stick with facts, right, then we get caught up in superstition and nonsense. And we become a drama channel, and that's not what I want to be. I want to always keep it about the kids. My goal is to figure out what happened, right? What happened? Yes. Here's kind of what I see. I'm thinking of that one video at Jack's birthday party when he was 2, and Lily got excited and started screaming, right? And she wasn't told to stop right away, right? So I see Malaya as, and just listening to what Belinda said about, Belinda is the one that said that Malaya talks calmly to her kids. What did mommy tell you? You know, that's all fine, well and good. But you have to discipline as well. You know, I mean, you have to, you know, there's got to be a consequence for doing something wrong. Like if Lily is always screaming and it sounds kind of like because the bus driver said that, right? Then obviously there needs to be some sort of discipline going on when she does that to let her know that that's not okay, right? Yes. That's okay, Gil. You're entitled to your opinion. You know, we can always agree to disagree if we have to, right? You're, you know, I just try to let you know what my thoughts and my opinions are. And if you know, not everybody has to agree with me, and that it's okay. It's okay because we're not always going to agree, but we can always respect and love each other, right? I'm not for sure, but I think that one guy that was mentioned earlier, Joseph somebody, I think that he reached out to Daniel. And the little bit that I could see, Daniel said that Darren was a warrior. We got Super Daniel and we got a warrior. You're sticking with Mr. Yummy. Yeah. Yes, they let it go on and on before they said anything to her, didn't they? And I was watching Daniel's face in that video, and he was just staring at her. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you tell her to stop? For talking's sake, Meta was sleeping and Lily was sleeping. Something could have, or someone, and they lost control. I'm not following you, Lori. Yeah. Yeah. Keyboard warrior. I don't like that terminology. I really don't. And you know why? Because everybody has, and he's really not a keyboard warrior. He calls he calls and talks on panels. So he's not really a keyboard warrior. But everybody has the right to, I mean, if somebody wants to make their own channel and talk, and I just don't like that term. It really irritates me for some reason. It just does. Right? If Meta was sleeping and Lily was sleeping, then what? What are you saying? I guess that's what I'm saying. What are you saying could have happened? Hello, Sandra. Hi guys. Appreciative what this nice gentleman does, but it no someone who for a fact called the RCMP about this guy last week. You know somebody. Gotcha. That's what I wondered, Sandra. No worries. But yeah, Sandra, that's what I wondered, if our CMP was just kind of stringing Dan along to let him know, to see what he had to say, right? Because and what everybody in chat said, we all kind of thought our CMP knew about. Darren was on the radar before this, so. But thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Oh, I see what you're saying, Laurie. If Meta was sleeping and Lily was screaming and wakened her up, one of them, yeah, that's very possible. That's very possible. Another thing that we talked about was, they said that Lily came into the room several times, according to Daniel, right? And so did Jack get into something? And Lily was worried and came in screaming, and they got mad about that. I mean, I don't know, right? Yeah, Daniel did say, told them to be quiet. I'm running with more of the possibility that the kids got into something. I don't know. And yes, Gil, I think that Daniel is loving his fame. It's a lot more plausible than the gossip. Yeah. Darren AI, what's his face? Mr. Bewitched. That's the best name for him. Mr. Bewitched. Daniel gave me chills how non-reactive he was when Lily was screaming in the video. I know, he had this like smirk on his face, right? And he was just staring at her. It was almost evil and spooky, wasn't it? It was evil and spooky. Darren said he was staying at a friend's house overlooking a lake. He's a millionaire, by the way. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah. I agree with you, Lori. 100% I agree with you. It's there, and that's what bothered me when I saw the pic of him and Meadow, and that she had the same eyes as him. It was kind of scary. And I know she's a precious little innocent, but I didn't like that. I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that baby looked like him. I'm sorry. That's just mean, but I'm sorry. I didn't want the baby to look like him. Maybe Jack wanted his nappy changed. What is that in Fahrenheit, Ginger? His hands looked weird to you? Gotcha. All right. So this is my grannyism for today. Getting caught in a lie is so much worse than saying nothing. Right? And that's a quote by Sarah Gailey. Getting caught in a lie is so much worse than saying that I had to put the Daniel with a little fish, flying fish. I know. How can anyone go to sleep knowing a 4-year-old is playing in the kitchen where there's knives and yeah. You like that, Wally? Oh man. I like to do something to make you guys laugh once in a while. Yes, they are. They're like black, aren't they? They're just I could be mad that he just caught that little teeny fish. All right, Gil. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Something smells fishy, Daniel. He looked like he was itching. Oh. Maybe he was running through the woods in waist deep water. Oh man, you guys are funny. All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Remember, it's better to say nothing than to get caught in a lie. Maybe Daniel's watching. Then he'll go quiet and we won't have anything to talk about in this case, right? Oh man. 2 bites and it'd be gone. Once you cleaned it, I don't even think you'd get 2 bites. Oh, all right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Have a really good night. Please, please, please hit the like button on your way out. I would really, really appreciate it. It does help the channel. And you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.